Hey YouTube, Alien 204965 here. Having problems with this camera right here. Despite what it looks like, it still works. Anyway, last post I put up, I was talking about space engineers. And I had shared a tactic on how to take down a mine layer. I've been playing on creative for the past couple hours. I'm still playing right now, in fact. I'm waiting for some ore to process. Although this time I'm in survival mode, but I disabled weapons. I've heard there's been some changes about the ships. Nobody told us that they're no longer booby-trapped. I guess the missile turrets and the gun turrets were booby-trap enough. But if I was the programmers, I personally would have left the booby-traps in there. It would have been so if you managed to get past the guns, you could still end up blowing up the ship. I've been trying my darndest to get by the armed ships like crazy. If anybody knows a tactic for getting past the missile and rocket turrets while chasing a ship that has no inertial dampeners, and well, I've been basically finding the ships basically having an impenetrable wall of bullets and rockets. Now I've done a survival world with weapons disabled, so that the Gatling turrets and the missile turrets are just basically textures, decorative textures. They're not functional. They don't even swivel around and pivot. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to get past that. What basically is a flying fortress. So, if anybody knows a tactic for getting by them, I've even tried making double-hulled heavy armor ships, small, compact, so it's maneuverable and relatively fast. But the civilian ships or the business ships and the ones with the solar cells on them, the solar panels. The business shipment has 3 miniguns, but they don't have any rocket launchers, so I just use the rocket launcher on my double-hulled pod. I just call it the Wolfsbane. And just use my missile launcher to take out the turrets, and then I just proceeded to loot the ship. Military ships and 2 out of the 3 mining ships, actually scratch that, all 3 mining ships, the transporter, the carriage, and the hauler, all seem to be pretty much impenetrable. Now I can marginally get the transporter down because it only has 2 turrets, and they're on the outside and an easy place to shoot without taking out the entire ship. I succeeded in taking out some turrets on a mine hauler, but I also succeeded in taking out the ship. I mean, it was just a tumbling, empty husk with one single little interior turret shooting at me from inside every time it turned and the laser dot hit me. I finally, to avoid getting shot at long enough to get out of there and get back to base and repair my ship, which was shot to pieces. Gaping holes in the side of it. Half my thrusters gone. A couple of my reactors blew up. I had to finally finish off the ship. I just fired what rocket launcher I had left, and I had like 3 rockets. Used all 3, but I got I got it taken out just long enough to run for home. And I haven't been able to successfully get on a ship since the weapons enabled update. And sorry, like I said, I'm playing Space Engineers right now, so, and I'm transferring ore to storage after it's been refined, because I've given up trying to capture ships. I know it can be an easy way to amass materials. Thought about thinking of myself like a space pirate. A space tramp, more like. One that gets kicked in the teeth every time I approach one of those ships. The only ship that I have found that is not armed is the private sail. There's no guns, no booby traps, it's too small. I can usually pick those up pretty easily, but you don't get much on those. You might get a few parts here and there, pre-manufactured components, but most of the time I take a ship back to base and start deconstructing it, breaking it down with the assembler, putting it in disassemble mode and turning it back into its natural elements. The only thing I can't do is return it to an asteroid. But that's not the point. I'm trying to sit here and amass materials in preparation for a survival mega build. I want to try to, in survival mode, build a giant ship that is able to envelop an entire asteroid and then chivel it up, process all the material and dump it into cargo containers. And then I just fly that big old Goliath home with an entire asteroid's worth of ore in tow, or in the cargo hold, including the stone that the asteroid's made out of. A lot of gravel for reactors. I've already built one. Sorry, seems I've got a couple of ants that decided to hitch a ride with me from the yard. Yeah, I've got a mechanical mole built in Creative that can tunnel all the way through an asteroid with little or no resistance, but I want one that can annihilate an asteroid in a single pass. And this is basically going to be a large cone-shaped structure. I mean, I can't even tell you what the diameter is going to be. It's going to have a main hoop that basically I'm just going to be able to bump into the asteroid, and inside there's going to be all these drill heads. So as you push into it, it's sitting there chiseling away, and by the time you get to the other end, you got this little bit of asteroid left, and it's funneling into the center where the final drill is. And rather than funnel it into a refinery, which I could put a refinery aboard, or several actually, because that much ore would exceed the capacity of any one refinery. So I'd have to make basically a factory ship attached to an asteroid eater. I mean, actually it would be an asteroid annihilator. But if I can get something like this going, I could probably annihilate every asteroid in the game map, which means I've collected everything there is to collect. And the limits of what I can build would be unlimited. Then it's just a matter of making a free-floating base or free-floating station, because the asteroid that the game often spawns your first platform on would be eaten up by the annihilator also. So, but like I said, if anybody knows how to get past the fortress-like defenses on the armed ships, and almost every single one of them are armed. Out of all 9 types of the ships, 1 is unarmed. So I need a way to get past those guns without taking too much damage. and still be able to have decent flight controls to get home. Now, if there's a special ship configuration that you can suggest, a world save that has a pretty effective shipboarding mechanism, or a real tough hide so that I can take a few rocket hits and still board the ship. Because if I can get over to the bridge on the mine hauler, which is on the other side, because I usually come up from behind and try to land on the flight deck that's on the aft section of it. Not in the hangar, because the false hangar doors are always closed, but there is a landing pad on the top towards the back end. And but the problem is there's a rocket turret or a missile turret right there guarding that platform, along with another one on the underside of the ship, and at least 4 Gatling turrets. And every time I go near one of those things, I get shredded. So if anybody's figured out how to get aboard without getting killed almost instantaneously, ship all banged up and stuff, let me know. Post it in the comments. I am a member of the Steam community. I'm subscribed to the many forums there. My user ID for Steam is the same as my YouTube ID. It's Alien2000-49655. Because I got Steam when I lived in the zip code of 49655. I wanted to just put Alien 2000, but it was already taken. Anyway, like I said, I need a way to get past those, basically an impenetrable barrier. I mean, when I first got the game, the booby traps were all I had to worry about, and I'd figured most of those out already. So grabbing ships was easy. Right now, the only way for me to grab ships in survival and stay alive, I mean, I still lose my ship in creative, but at least I don't die. But the only way I can do it in survival is to disable the weapons. But that takes all the challenge out of it. But I think trying to get past the guns is too challenging. If the developers of Space Engineers are watching this, I'll probably share a link of this to the Steam forum, if I can figure out how. But I've seen people post videos on it. But if the writers of Space Engineers gets this, maybe you can share a way of getting past all those guns, or write in a weapon that would be expensive to mine and build. How about a frickin' EMP to wipe out the circuitry on? You know, electromagnetic pulse missile or something like that. Also, large ship Gatling guns, manually controlled Gatling guns. The small ship ones are great, but you've already got rocket launchers for the large ships. Would be nice to have a large ship version of the Gatling gun also. Not just the turrets. I mean, the turrets are great, but if you set them to track moving objects and you fire a rocket, it sits there and shoots your rocket before you hit your target. So there's got to be a better way to discriminate between what it's supposed to track. So tweaking the missile and Gatling turrets would be appreciated too. Also, more finite control of the rotors. I don't like to have to go into the console just to drive my moon buggy. I'd rather just hit keys, and rack and pinion to steer like a regular car would be great too. But anyway, I'm running out of time. I'll probably post some more on this later. Until then, catch you later.